All right, guys, I'm gonna run through just the customer file. So every time you enter a customer, it obviously generates a record and a customer file where we keep track of everything as if it's almost a paper file, so or a paper folder. The one nice thing that we do here that we created when we originally created RoofEEZ was we created a next steps to kind of keep you going. But first and foremost, I'll show you the customer homepage. So at the top here, we see almost like your file label that you would have on top of your folder here. This is our job numbering system. We can start your job numbers anywhere you want. We can start it, from where you left off. We can number it any way you want. Anything you think of, we can do. What we do is we have our job number 3940, the location, CHI, which is our Chicago location. So like our Minneapolis location is MSP, India location is IND. So we can change all that, and then we have the rep initials. So at a glance, when all of the bills come in, the files come in, we can tell just a little bit by looking at it, and then obviously the job name and phone number we choose to put up here. We can put anything you want up here. These buttons here, stay tuned. We'll show you on the mobile videos, but we have a mobile inspection app. So when you're on mobile and you click go to inspection, it takes you through a series of pictures to take, answer questions, things like pertinent details that we might need for supplements, for orders, for contract information. We have an iPad presentation that's linked into there. That's not for anybody else. That's for our company, so that won't be in there if anybody chooses to use this. The inspection document will, which takes all these photos and it puts it into a nice little folder. A little document that gives the homeowner an idea of what you just were up there taking a look at, and it emails it right to them. But you see here, he didn't enter an email, so it says that they need that to send it off to him. We also have an e-contract and an e-contingency agreement. We call it a service agreement, so that has to be in there for that as well and for the contract. So if the homeowner doesn't have an email, and here I'll just do this. I'll put it in here while we're going on. Let's put my email in here. It won't allow them to do those files. So I'll just put mine in here. And then that button should show there. So see how this works. I am on a desktop, so it's not going to render the same here as if it's on an iPad. But real quick, if you were on an iPad and you click go to service agreement, here's what would populate on your iPad to show to the client. So you can see where it's padded with all this space on a PC, but on your iPad, it's got your service agreement. A couple different options here you can do, whether or not it's the first time that you've seen the property, or if maybe it's a reinspection, calling back out there. Customer can sign, representative can sign, you submit it, and then it'll go back to, or give you the option to go back into the client. When you do this, keep in mind what it's doing is it's actually rendering a PDF. Renders that PDF, and with that email address, it sends it directly to the client, their actual email address. So that's that. I might be able to show you guys here. Forgive the dog stuff. I breed dogs. But I'll show you my Gmail. So I put my email address in there, and here's what the homeowner gets. So the homeowner gets this automatically. You guys can change this message however you want it to say. Hey, we appreciate you for coming with us. Here's the agreement. We're going to get started. By the way, here's your rep's information again. Thanks a lot. And here's the PDF. So you'll see the actual PDF that was rendered. It took a few minutes there to loop around. And there's what it is. So homeowner gets that instantaneously as the guy signs it. Pretty nifty little thing. We do our contracts the same way. So all that stuff's signed on iPads. So that's that. Some of the other, we enter our location, storm dates, all that type of stuff is entered in there. Who the insurance company is. We track lead source, so we can generate on that. We can check our marketing. Map the homeowner where they're at. When leads come in, so say this was a new lead, it's not, but if it was a new lead, we would click the map it button there. and that's going to give us all of the clients that are close. And we have different statuses throughout the process. And so what it's going to do is, here's the homeowner we're looking at, and if we locate our new leads to the reps that are working nearby. So this will tell us this homeowner and who the sales rep is there, this homeowner and who the sales rep is there. Yeah, same thing. So then what we would do is, if it was a new homeowner, it wouldn't have a rep assigned. It would be unassigned on this one here, and we would go back and we would reassign it to them. Excuse me. So that's our mapping function. We have some information down here that we fill out: billing address, if it's different, areas of concern, that type of stuff. Adjustment date and time. This goes on we have an adjustment manager that goes out with all of our new reps on all their jobs up to 500,000 in sales. He goes out there to just show them the ropes and to make sure that they're doing things right and conveying the information to the insurance company correctly. The next steps tab is just an informational tab. It basically walks you through the whole job. It starts here at prospect. You have to enter all these things throughout the job, and it'll take you right there. So as far as training and user interface, it's pretty simplistic. It'll, if you get locked up and what you're supposed to do next, it'll literally just hit the button and it takes you to where you need to go. And when it gets to the different status points, it'll then stop, and then they'll change status. So the statuses are prospect submitted, customer production built, invoiced, which we're in now, capped, which is our commissions, and closed when the cap has been paid. So this one is actually in invoice right now. And here's our actual customer invoice. So some of you guys might call this like a job sheet or a customer packet or customer worksheet or something like that. So as the job goes, obviously, a lot of times the totals go up and down depending if there's a supplement or if you give any credits or anything like that. So this is just the financial data, and this is what we'll actually link with QuickBooks if you want to link it to your QuickBooks. But so it's just a categorical breakdown of what's on the job. So here we had $10,000 of roofing, $500 of gutters, and so on. And so we can populate invoices out of this as well. I'll show you that in a second. Here's our orders. I won't get too into the orders right now. This is going to be a quick glance of like what orders are in here. Pretty simple. I'll show you orders later. And you can print these, you can email them. You don't do that from here. You can. You do it from the production board, but this is just the orders that are in here. Our aerial tab is a breakdown of the Eagle View. When we import the Eagle View, it parses all the XML into the necessary things. And here's where, when our guys turn their jobs in, they input the soffit width, and then this is how we do our supplements. So we just click that button there, and it'll form a PDF there that we just send this in. So it just breaks down. So here's the soffit width, and takes a couple minutes. So the 812 pitch comes in from the Eagle View. This does all this math, gives them the reverse Pythagorean theorem, adds the wall footage and everything, and it's a laydown. I mean, we don't fight over 2 rows or anything like that. And we give them the exact numbers, and every time, without a doubt, they pay. So so this is more overview. It does create our ice shield diagram, but we use this in our orders as well. We parse our Eagle View into our orders. There's pre-calculated math that breaks down your drip edge, your linear footage of your starter, all that type of stuff. So that's why we bring in the Eagle View. Our admin tab, this is where you keep your supplements and mortgage checks. There's nothing in there right now. This is going to be our expenses, our money in, money out. So on this job, we got $2,200 in, and we got way more money, as we typically do sometimes. Way more money going out right now. But here's our expenses in, our expenses out, what it's for, first insurance draft here with CAD measurements, roofing material, labor, roofing, and kind of where we're at on the job. That's that. This is our documents file. Documents file is going to have, here's the service agreement actually. I forgot to say, when that email sends to the client for the service agreement, your contingency agreement or your contract, it also it also renders and brings it up into your documents tab automatically. So there it is. So you get a copy of it, and the client gets a copy of it to their email. So if they need it again, you can always send it to them again. That's not a problem. Here's our EagleView files, any claim docs. You can rename these as you go. Our pictures, front elevation, driveway, roof layers, all that type of stuff. These are our thumbnails if you need to see, you know, a bigger picture of it for whatnot. Just click the view tab right there. So any of the labor bills, we run on a profit system. So if we upload all of our labor bills to there, so when our guys get paid in the end, they can take a look at it and you know, make sure that we paid out right and everything's good. Any additional photos, however you want to do it. It's really easy to upload documents. So say you want to upload a claim doc. I'll just pick a file here. So we'll browse our file and grab that. You can name this the rep's going to wonder what this was for. And it's right here. So you can name it as you go, which is kind of nice. Sometimes the guys will just upload whatever it is and we got to kind of search for it, but it's nice because you can type in a quick message there so we know what's going on. But so that's that. And then our news posts that we talked about kind of briefly in the dashboard video. So every movement of the job gets a post on its own. So here you can see that when we uploaded the aerials, this just automatically does it. Nobody typed this in. Job submitted, nobody does it, approved. It just goes in there, just timestamps movements. Now this was something that someone actually wrote in there. This is John. So he wrote in here, upload the photos so we can get this built. The roof order is entered. And he emailed to Brandon Bolts, the rep that's on that one. He did that at 10/16/2015. You can get these posts more detailed if you guys want timestamps or whatnot. That's not hard. But a lot of times as a manager, as an owner, anybody who wants to go on the job and see what's going on, you start here and you kind of know where the job progressed and where people were doing what on each job. So, and the sales rep role only sees their comments on their dashboard. They don't see every other job, but as a manager or above, you'll see everybody's comments, so you can kind of keep in tune with what's going on the thing. If you want to make a news post, here's how that works. Say I want to send that to there. So he'll get an email with a message. He's not going to know why I just sent this to him, but it says make a news post for video, and then it goes in here into the file. So that's an overall of what the client's file looks like. Now the movement of the job is not done from here. It's done from the production board, just like it's done in your everyday working system. But this is the actual client file. Everything stays in here. Any hard docs, any electronic docs, anything you need to find, the archive of the job is all right in here. So